What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Ryland 2K, and today we're gonna be talking about the Week 1 NBA season. I'm y'all host. My name's Ryland, and I got my boy Aswin here to co-host. What's up, Aswin?
Guys,
All right, so there've been a couple of games this week. Man, bro, I was watching Warriors versus the Pistons yesterday. Yo, did you watch the highlights for that one?
yeah, I watched the whole game.
Yeah, same, bro.
Believe me or not,
Bro, Andrew Wiggins, bro, he went off in the and he had he had 27. Like he
I was worried about Pistons Warriors because Pistons had a little edge
yeah.
in some point of that game in like every quarter, and I thought,
Oh yeah, bro. They made a final push at the end, right? I thought the Warriors had it. You know, they had 11-point lead, but Derrick Rose, he hits a three, and then they hit a few free throws, and all of a sudden they're back in the game.
And they take a little lead, and they ended off there.
Yeah,
Wiggins had a good game, by far his best game this season compared to his other games last week.
Yeah, and Steph, man, he's back. He got rid of his rust.
Steph is like Steph.
Yeah.
26. How much did he have yesterday? 26?
He had 33.
33.
Yeah, back-to-back 30-point games. So he's back for sure.
So, yeah, the Warriors are 2-2 in the season now, despite their two blowouts in the first two games of their season.
Yeah, the Nets and the Bucks gave them a run for their money.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Hey,
the first two games. So the Nets and the Bucks are contenders for the NBA Finals next year, and
for the East, right? For the East.
Yeah, the contenders to go to the finals for the championship. And them beating the Warriors gives me a signal that the Warriors are not going to be as competitive in the playoffs this season. But I'm not going to say that because, you know, it's their first season. It's their first game since March. So I'm not going to argue about that. So I'm gonna give that game excuse for a rust. It's 7 months they haven't played, I'm pretty sure. 7 months.
Yeah, they had a few chemistry issues in the beginning. Like, okay, Kelly Oubre, you know, he likes to create his own shot like a lot of times. Like after James Wiseman, he's actually been doing really well. After he would set the screen and cut in, he would make some really good cuts, but they wouldn't. Kelly Oubre would miss him a couple of times when he's at the ball. He has the ball at the top of the key, and Wiseman cuts in from the wing or a backdoor cut. You know,
the Warriors are gonna need Wiseman this whole season.
Oh yeah, 100%. He needs to be healthy. After hearing the
sad news about Klay Thompson going out, like, come on, man, that's just sad, yo.
Bro, I know, bro. That was messed, bro. When I heard that, I'm like,
damn. When I heard the Warriors are coming back this season, I thought it's gonna be revenge tour. The revenge tour for not making.
Yeah, like what the Bulls did in what was it, 96?
96.
Yeah.
After they didn't have Jordan, I thought the Warriors would be like, oh, we didn't do shit last year, this year, but we about to win it all. And that's what I thought with Klay coming back, and hearing him tearing his Achilles just makes me sad. And let's hope for the best next season, and let's wish him a speedy recovery.
Same thing, or something happened to John Wall too, right? He missed what? He also missed 2 seasons, right? He's back for the first time, isn't he?
I think he tore both his Achilles.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
But he's been looking well, and James Harden apparently likes playing with John Wall more than Westbrook, according to the reports I've read.
Anyways, back to the Warriors. Without Klay, I don't see this team going in deep into the playoffs. Like, if I'm being honest here, Steph has to, carry a lot in the season. or develop some sort of chemistry with the team.
That's true. You know what? Steve Kerr said this is going to be a learning year because they got a lot of young guys.
Now, with that in Kelly Oubre this off season.
Yeah, they also got a bunch of new players and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
2 new wings in Kelly
Draymond Green is still there.
Wiggins.
Draymond's still there, so that's good, but it's not as good as, you know, having Clay on the court.
That's true.
But Draymond's a good defender. He's a good defender. So
Draymond's actually been teaching James Wiseman a little bit on how to set screens.
I can already tell Wiseman and Green have the chemistry sorted out. Once Draymond gets back back on the court, that's gonna work well.
Double screens with Wiseman and Draymond for Steph might be a really tough to defend. Like, what are you supposed to do? You got a 7-footer and Draymond Green. Like, Steph's gonna have fun with that for sure.
Now looking back, I feel like now the Warriors, when they had D'Angelo Russell last season, they only traded him because they didn't need D'Angelo Russell because they thought Clay was coming back. But now knowing that Clay is out with an Achilles injury, this team would be a little bit better, I guess, if they still kept D'Lo and not took in Wiggins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I actually read that. Like,
D'Lo's a good shot creator, and he'll facilitate for Steph, Wiseman.
But I don't know. I feel like the team this year is still like better because they got
hope for that.
Yeah.
When Clay comes back next season, he's gonna be straight out. His offense is gonna be the same. But it's just not his defense. His defense is gonna decline a bit because, come on, an Achilles injury and an ACL injury. Come on now,
bro. I got a feeling that Andrew Wiggins is gonna prove to a lot of people that, like, he's gotten better. I mean, like back when he was on the Cavs in Minnesota, right? People were calling him a bust, right? I mean, he looked like a bust. I mean, he was like one of the most inefficient players like I've ever watched back then. But now, I don't know. I think once he got to Golden State, it gave him a new motivation. Like, a team actually believes in him, and now he wants to get better because of that.
The Warriors' depth, though, the depth is like what's concerning me for their season. Because, come on, if you look back like a couple years ago, their bench was stacked. Like when they had Iguodala and stuff. Their bench was pretty good.
Oh, they shouldn't have gotten rid of Iggy, man. They traded him. They traded him to the Grizzlies, right? But he didn't want to play for the Grizzlies.
But we didn't know. We didn't know that.
Yeah.
Clay was out. Let's just hope for the best next season and let's see if the Warriors get back on track. I personally think the Warrior dynasty isn't over because Clay is Clay. His offense is good. Clay was, he was offensively good, and he was never a guy. He's not like a Kawhi Leonard or anything. He's just a catch and shoot person. Like, once you see the guy open, shoot.
I think I personally think they got 3-4 good years of contending.
Yeah.
Especially if they extend Wiseman's contract. I feel like Wiseman could be a future defensive player of the year.
And they're in their 30s too, so
I'm
still hoping they got it in themselves even in their 30s.
I mean, okay, I looked at Wiseman's advanced stats, right?
Yeah.
Per 36 minutes, he could average 2 blocks and 1.5 steals, along with 9 rebounds if the Warriors gave him 36 minutes. But that's some DPOY stats. So
they're gonna push Wiseman this season.
Oh yeah, of course. But they got to be careful because rookies get injured really easily.
Rookies. Okay. Here's the thing. When a rookie goes in a playoff series, they don't know how to play, because when you're playing in a playoff series, you're not playing against rookies, right? You're playing against veterans that have been in the playoffs
Yeah.
whole career, you know.
Yeah.
And the rookies are just gonna rush in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's their first time experience, in the playoffs.
So if they play more minutes now,
so they're nervous.
If the Warriors play Wiseman more minutes, he'll probably pick up his pace and he'll probably know what to do in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, experience is one of the best things a young player can get, and Wiseman's only 19, and he's been so good.
Anyways, let's put the Warriors to the side.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nets, they're looking good, bro. They're looking really good.
Did Kevin Durant even get injured? Bro, that's my question.
That's what I was asking myself when I saw the first game.
I know.
Nets game. KD is probably gonna. KD this season. KD is just gonna prove that he still got it in himself, even after having the worst injury in sports history. He still got it in himself. And once I saw the guy back on court, oh god, it was like he never left. It's like he never left.
Yeah, pick back right where he left off from.
Tonight he had 30, 36, I'm pretty sure, 32. I don't know. But
he's been getting 30s like they're 10s. I mean, Kevin Durant's the best scorer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That
Nets team is gonna scare. It's kind of scary for the Eastern Conference.
They got one of the best scoring point guards in Kyrie, and you pair him with Kevin Durant, who can play the 3, the 4, the 5.
Yeah, tonight he had 8 points in the first half, and then he scored 26 in the third and fourth.
26, bro. Do you think KD could win MVP?
I mean, I don't think I don't have him too. I have him in the MVP rankings, but I don't have him top 3. Only because Kyrie is playing with him. Kyrie is gonna have the ball, and you know how Kyrie is. Kyrie's like an ISO player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Kyrie's what's it called? They call him ball dominant, right?
Yeah, Kyrie's ball dominant. So is KD. So I don't know, but KD, as long as he's playing, is good. I don't think he cares if he doesn't get the MVP or not, because he's already got it. He just cares if he goes to the finals and wins it all.
Yeah, and that'll be KD's 3rd ring.
Yeah, 3rd.
I mean, I think KD's already a Hall of Famer, even without the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With Kyrie Irving, it's not like Kyrie's gonna, have 10 assists a game. It's Kyrie Irving. He's ball dominant. So, but I think my opinion about this Nets team is that I think KD is gonna I'm not saying if this is actually happening. I think KD is gonna let Kyrie do most of the work this season, so KD has more rest. I'm not saying KD's not helping him at all in the season. KD's gonna help. Yeah, he's gonna help, but yeah, he's gonna let Kyrie do most of the work. But then in the playoffs, when playoffs come, I feel like that's when he's gonna go full on sniper mode, But who knows? KD probably wants the MVP. He probably play the whole season.
Facts, bro. Okay, let's talk about. Let's talk a little about that NBA record that was set this week. Clippers versus Dallas.
Oh hell no.
50 points by halftime. That's some 2K type shit. I mean,
they didn't have Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, but that just shows a lot about the Clippers. Without Kawhi,
Paul George can't do shit without Kawhi Leonard. But I'm gonna give him a little break after what we've seen in the playoffs last year. That horrendous playoff performance by Paul George.
Pandemic P.
The fans gotta give him a break. It's just one season.
Yeah,
right?
They do.
It's just one season.
They definitely do.
Every NBA player has those type of seasons where they're just off, but then they get back on their feet and then they just go off the season after.
Yeah, gotta keep pushing. I mean, look at what happened with Toronto with Pascal Siakam. He didn't play his best in that Celtics series, but you know what? He's got that max contract, and Raptors.
And it's not looking too good for Raptors.
Oh yeah, now. They have. Yeah, it's been looking rough for them these past few games.
For the first time, they're 0-3 since 2005 or 6. Don't remember.
Yeah,
but looking too rough for them.
Especially
after losing two of their big men, Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka.
Right, both of those guys in LA now.
Yeah, and it's been a huge disadvantage on defense because when they versed the Sixers yesterday, no one could have stopped Joel Embiid. Like Alex Len couldn't stop Joel Embiid. Aaron Baines couldn't stop Joel Embiid. Like if it's Ibaka's actually a good defender. Like Ibaka's a good defender, and Kawhi knew that. That's why Kawhi picked him up. And of course, they did win a championship together a couple years ago. So,
yeah, the chemistry is there with Ibaka and Kawhi.
Yeah, man. But Nick Nurse, he did win Coach of the Year last year. Do something. I
think he definitely deserved it. I mean, during that championship run, though, he did do a few questionable things. Like, do you remember during like game 4? So Kawhi was going off, right? He made like 3-4 mid ranges, and then Nurse calls a timeout, right? And everyone's like, "Yo, why is he calling a timeout?" Kawhi's like flaming hot, making every shot.
In the Sixers game yesterday, he did the opposite. Like the Raptors were like scoreless in the third and fourth quarter. They haven't scored a basket in like 5 minutes, and Nick Nurse is just there, and is not calling timeouts. He's just there like, "Oh, these guys got it," like whatever. Like he's not calling a timeout. It's like you gotta call a timeout if your team's going scoreless in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like my hopes for the Raptors, with losing their two bigs and of course losing Kawhi Leonard the previous offseason,
yeah, they might
pick up the pace. And Fred Van Vliet, he did sign the max. He said he did sign the Supermax. I'm pretty sure. Did he sign the Supermax or
they gave him a $20 million deal, I think.
Yeah, $20 million deal.
Yeah.
Fred Van Vliet is gonna be the next Kyle Lowry in the Raptors. As soon as Kyle Lowry retires from the game, Fred Van Vliet is gonna take a spot.
I think
Lowry's like 34, and at this point he's declining. He's not getting better and better. He's declining. He probably has like 2-3 good years in him.
Yeah, around that. So yeah, they should definitely look for some big men in the 21 draft.
Yeah. But here's what I don't get. Van Vliet is not. What do I say? What do I like? How do I say it? Like Fred Van Vliet is like, he's Kyle Lowry's not, the point guard. He's not like, Steph Curry or anything. He's like a playmaking point guard,
Yeah, he's like a light Chris Paul, kind
of like a Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And Fred Van Vliet is. Fred Van Vliet is just the point guard. I don't know the correct word. I'll just say like he's like, I'm not saying Steph Curry, but he's like kind of the guy like who like takes shots anywhere, drive up and something like that. Their chemistry is kind of working, but who knows, man. Nick Nurse gotta do something.
Yeah. Nurse knows how to develop his players. I mean, Pascal Siakam. Remember, Pascal Siakam was the G League MVP, wasn't he? Before he got moved up.
Big ups for OG Anunoby, bro. He's gonna go off this season.
100%.
He's going off.
He has that killer mentality. He hit that game winner, and
him and what's his name, Chris Boucher. They're gonna go off.
Oh yeah.
And the new pickup this draft season,
Malachi Flynn.
He's a good player.
He's a great guard. I've been watching him.
Great guard. He knows how to do everything. How to drive in, how to shoot. He's got it all.
Raptors are one of the best teams in the draft.
I'm probably just gonna say it. I'm if I was like the Raptors coach, if I was Nick Nurse, I'd probably even start him and put him in starting point guard, starting lineup. But Kyle Lowry, he's got the experience, and Fred VanVleet.
Coaches aren't afraid to put a young player in that position. Like the Warriors, they got Kevon Looney and James Wiseman, but Steve Kerr has been starting James Wiseman because he's a elite center, like flat out.
Yeah, that's their only center, and like the Warriors need bigs, else they're just gonna get blown out. See, since they didn't play Wiseman a lot of minutes in those two Nets game, the Nets game and then the Bucks game. Yeah, the Warriors got blown out, so they need him.
Yeah, they got no one on KD, so they got blown out.
Because like when the Warriors had KD, they technically didn't need a center because KD is KD.
Yeah, KD could switch on to almost all positions. Let's face it, he could guard point guard, shooting guard, all of them.
Yep. But man,
that's why the Steph Curry and KD pick and roll, that was one of the best. That was a scary play.
Raptors are questionable though. This season, the Raptors are questionable. Milwaukee, I'll start it. All
right, Bucks, man.
All right, well, Milwaukee Bucks. After their disappointing exit in the playoffs as the first seed in the NBA and gets eliminated by the 5th seed, the Miami Heat. That's pretty disappointing on how they exited out in 5 games. They didn't avoid the sweep, but still embarrassing, as the first seed losing to the 5th seed.
Did you hear what Giannis has been saying? He says he doesn't want to be the MVP unless he's a champion.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think...
Actually, he said, don't call me MVP until I'm a champion. That's what he said, exactly.
But I don't see the media voting him MVP again because, voting fatigue. Do you think that media wants to vote Giannis as MVP for the 3rd year? That's why you don't see a lot of MVPs winning three straight years as MVPs. They've only gone back
Has there even been a 3-time MVP? Like
Larry Bird, but that was when voting was really different back in the 80s,
Yeah.
But this is 2020 and they're not doing this. Voter fatigue,
Yeah.
They want someone new.
Of course.
And it's looking like
otherwise LeBron would have got it like 6 times in a row. But they gotta find someone new.
They were exiting out. Of course, Giannis didn't show up in game 4 and game 5. He didn't play in game 4 or game 5 due to injuries. But they're looking good this season. Like yesterday, they blew the Heat out, but they didn't have Jimmy Butler, of course. I think they won by 30. But today, the Heat won. Well, let's talk about what they added this season. So this season, they added Jrue Holiday, who's arguably the best defensive guard in the league right now.
Yes.
Which is a great addition to the team. And they also added DJ Augustine and bench pieces. Giannis wanted to recruit Bogdan Bogdanovic.
But that didn't work out.
And they got into some troubles. And but the Bucks are looking good. They're looking ready. They're ready for the playoffs. Jrue Holiday's a great adding. Like he's really decent offensively. He's a really good defense. And I think he's really underrated. But what to expect from this team? They have a chance to go to the conference finals, possibly the NBA finals. They obviously have more votes than the Nets to go to the finals from fans. But we just got to see if they even match up with them,
Yeah, I mean, I think 1 and 2 seed Nets and Bucks, but I don't know which one's going to the finals. I mean,
we already know Bucks are gonna lock up 1st seed.
Well, yeah,
Last year they did.
Bucks are cracked in the regular season. I'll tell you that.
Last year they did, and this year they got way better. So it's obvious that they're gonna do it again. Yeah, Giannis wants that ring. He's chasing for the ring, but
Yeah.
he's still in his prime. He got time. He signed a supermax.
Yeah, I think Giannis is only like 26. I think.
Not even in his prime yet.
Oh yeah, I think this is like he's almost the age where Jordan won his first ring, so he's got time for sure.
Like, as soon as LeBron, all those guys leave the league, retire from the league, he's probably got like a couple years good.
Oh yeah, of course. I would be shocked if Giannis ended his career with no rings.
He'd probably be the best player to not win a ring. Man.
Oh yeah. No doubt about that.
But
Luke, have you been watching Luka lately?
Let's go back to Giannis and let's just talk about him signing the max.
Oh, the max. Okay, yeah, we can talk about that.
So fans got really pissed that he signed the max because everyone wanted Giannis because he's like one of the best in the league right now, and everyone wants him. Like teams like the Mavericks, the Raptors, the Heat, and the Warriors all wanted Giannis.
But he wanted to stay in Wisconsin.
And no one really does this. No one really re-signs to the team that's been losing because they want to win, you know? So LeBron did it in 2010. He dipped out of Cleveland because he wanted to win a championship. So he went to the Miami Heat. And Giannis's reason really did surprise me on why he didn't leave why he signed the Supermax. He's like, I remember he said in a post-game interview that like he didn't want fans burning his jersey. He didn't want to get hate for leaving. That really surprised me because no one really stays on the team, you know?
Yeah.
If they want to win and they still stay on the team.
I think that has to do with Giannis's roots. You know,
Giannis is loyal.
Yeah, he's Greek. Greek people are very loyal people from what I know. Like, especially European players. Like Dirk stayed with the Mavs all his career, and same with Tim Duncan. Although he was from the Virgin Islands, but he, foreign player. And I think Giannis wants to be one of those. Like Kobe, like. I mean,
whatever way he can
that.
win a ring, whatever way he feels comfortable winning a ring and having a shot at it, it's fine. He can do it.
I mean, that's why people say.
And he's not even in his prime yet, so like.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah. If he wasn't in his prime, then I would be concerned for him. But he's not in his prime yet, so he got time.
Yeah, but back to what we were saying before. That's why people say players like Dirk are so great because they stayed with their team and they won the championship for him. Yeah. And yeah, that just makes their legacy even greater.
I saw on an article that Marc Gasol brought up, he's like, if Giannis didn't sign the Supermax, he would have went to the Raptors.
Really?
Next off season. Marc Gasol said that.
Bro, that's some Draymond Green type stuff. Like when Draymond was recruiting KD, he's like tampering, man.
Marc Gasol didn't recruit him. Giannis told Marc Gasol that he would have played for the Raptors if what's it called? If he would play for the Raptors if he didn't sign the max.
He told him flat out. Oh my gosh.
Pissed.
How did I not read about that?
Myself as a Raptors fan, I felt pretty pissed.
Yo,
that he went to the Raptors.
Yo, you swear he actually said that? He's allowed to say that? What?
No, it was after he signed the max though, not before.
After.
Dang. Before then, he would have got in trouble.
That's interesting then. That's very interesting.
Yeah. Raptors fans, man, how would you feel if you had Giannis on the team after having Kawhi?
I mean, it only makes sense. Masai Ujiri helped Giannis get into America in the first place. So.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why the relationship is there.
Doesn't care about loyalty, cause.
Well, yeah, DeMar DeRozan. That trade, man.
Okay, back to what we're saying. Gotta take that little break. Back to what we're saying. He did do the infamous thing 2018 where the Raptors when the Raptors got swept by the Cavaliers as the first seed, getting exited in the second round by the fourth seed Cavaliers with LeBron James.
Yeah.
His side was like, I wanted to win, so we traded DeMar DeRozan, who was like the guy that carried the Raptors franchise in the past decade. Him and Lowry had that great friendship, and to trade a franchise player that he had for 10 plus years that's just messed up. That's just messed up. I remember DeMar DeRozan. I remember like it was yesterday. DeMar DeRozan was pissed about it because he cared about Raptors fans. He loved the city of Canada. He loved the country of Canada. Sorry, the city of Toronto. But that's part of a general manager. Like if you want to win, you got to do some stuff that fans are not gonna like. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And now that we have a championship, and Kawhi left Toronto, we won the trade. So
oh yeah,
that's what I'm happy about.
Oh yeah, we definitely won that trade.
Because if we didn't, it would have been a lose-lose situation for both teams. Because let's face it, San Antonio is not going to make the playoffs unless DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge and Rudy Gay, surprise me and make it to the playoffs. But we got a ring, so I'm happy about that.
Facts. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I said this earlier in the podcast, but have you been watching Luka this season? Yeah,
He's
bro.
the favorite to win the MVP
last season, and this is year 3 from him. Only year three,
and he's number 1 in voting for the MVP.
Yeah.
Now, I think the reporters want Luka to win.
Yeah.
LeBron's in his last few years. LeBron's probably gonna be out in like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And
the league.
They need a new face, like a new GOAT, a new face of the NBA. And Luka Doncic is gonna be one of them.
It's gonna be Luka, Zion, and Giannis running the future. I'm telling you.
And to mention, Luka is from a foreign country, and Luka will. And once LeBron leaves, Luka will be arguably like the best in the league in that time. And it's to the point where he's going to influence foreign countries like Europe, where he's from Europe, I think. And he's going to influence Europe, people from Europe and other foreign countries to watch basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Like Michael Jordan, what he did to impact basketball, how he impacted a lot of fans watching basketball. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Steph Curry. They've changed the game a lot of ways, and Luka Doncic will do that with the NBA going on in the future.
Yeah, I think what European players, right? They can make this sport popular for Europe, but remember, the NBA has a huge market for Chinese players, and
not to mention, Dallas Mavericks is the team where many Europeans play. Dirk Nowitzki, everyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Dallas is like Europe's team.
Dallas is like a team that everyone can. Dallas is like a team where they can welcome any NBA player.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, we're gonna welcome you. That's what I like about the Mavericks.
Because they got Mark Cuban. He doesn't care if the team makes money or not. He cares if the team's winning, which is something I can respect.
Is really rich,
Yeah, that's why he doesn't care about the money.
He'll hand out a max contract to a guy that played in the league for 3 years. I'm literally being honest right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the MVP is going to boost him off. He needs to win the MVP if he wants to impact other countries and other parts of the world to play basketball and get interested in the sport.
Skip Bayless said Luka should have went first in the draft. And people thought he was crazy, right? They're like,
Luka
what?
To the Suns?
Yeah, he would.
Now, number 1 pick at 2018 was DeAndre Ayton. So Booker and Luka will be a good duo because they're both young. But him and Dallas is good.
Oh yeah.
Him and Dallas is good. I don't think he should have went to Phoenix. Because Phoenix is chilling now. Like, come on now. They got CP3, who's a good leader, lead the team to the playoffs. Phoenix is chilling. They're not a bad team anymore. And I could finally say that out of my mouth, you know?
Yes.
Past decade, they've been horrible. Ever since Steve Nash retired, left the team, you know? But I got high hopes for Luka and the Mavericks. They're going to bring the franchise and the league into good hands.
Oh, yeah. Bro.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
At 23 years old. How old is he? 23? 24?
20. Yeah. Bro, he's 23. I think he's 23.
If he wins, isn't he like the youngest MVP, or is Derrick Rose still above him?
What age did Derrick Rose win? He was...
I think Derrick Rose won it in his third season. 08-09.
When he was 22?
But he won in his second season. Wait, hold on. 08-09. Then 10-11. Wait, 08-09, 09-10. Yeah, in his third season. He won his third season.
So when he was 20, 21, 20, 22, 23?
Okay. Luka's not even in his prime yet, and he's going for MVP.
Crazy.
Well, I'll never know what he will do in the next 10 years, you know? Sad era now. Everyone that we know, everyone that we grew up watching is going to retire this decade.
Yeah, that's going to be weird.
It's going to be sad.
Seeing all the players I grew up watching retire. Like
LeBron, KD, Steph.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone. Hey, new generation about to take it.
Yeah.
Not to mention the new generation. They're doing really good. They're not even the leaders of the NBA yet. You know?
Yeah.
But we don't know what the new generation will do with the NBA. Anyways, let's talk about the 2020 reigning, currently defending NBA champions, the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James captured his 4th NBA title. Anthony Davis wins his 1st NBA title. Let's talk about that.
Yes. So, I think you know how the media made that they made that story, right? Charles Barkley said the Blazers would sweep the Lakers in the first round.
I mean,
do you remember that? Charles Barkley.
He's a guy. Like, shout out to Shaq, but never trust a guy with no rings.
Hey, no. Bro. Oh my gosh. I mean, I guess it kind of made sense. You know, the Blazers were the hot team in the bubble.
Just because they won one game, everyone.
And they won game one. But
yeah, when they won game one,
the Lakers with LeBron.
Like, it's once they won that first game, everyone was like, Blazers in 4 games, and I'm like, alright, chill it there, yo.
I know.
They're the 8th seed. If the play-in tournament didn't even happen, the Blazers would have even been in the playoffs.
I know, that's true. And now they're saying they're gonna beat LeBron and Anthony Davis. Like,
Blazers. Let's talk about the Blazers. Blazers just got Enes Kanter back, who is, and I'm sorry, he's not a great defender. He's not great offensively and defensively, you know? Like, if he grabs rebound, offensive rebound, and I'm telling this guy to put that up there, put that board up there, he ain't gonna do it, you know? It's gonna take him like 3-4 tries to put the ball in the basket. But the Blazers need to work on their defense if they wanna, like, you know, I'm not trying to say contend because they don't look like a contending team now, but just for the reference, if they are, they need good defense. Because the only good defender this only good defender on that team is Robert Covington, and he's really good. He's a good shooter. He's a good defender. He's a really good defender. It's probably why they won that game a couple games ago against the Rockets. I know that was a close game, but you know, he did get the clutch rebound and did win the game.
Yeah.
But Blazers are like in a weird place right now. Oh yeah. Let's just put the Blazers to aside. Let's talk about the team that honestly the whole world doesn't know what the hell are they doing. We don't, and who knows where they'll be. Who knows what are they? And that's the Houston Rockets. Like the James Harden situation. All right, he requested a trade in November. Wants to be out in Houston. Wants to play for a different team. Contend for a different team.
Yeah, but no trade happened.
No trades happened. No teams want James Harden because he's such like a weird player because like his playing style of basketball is iso ball. This guy, all he does is iso ball. Like, but he's such a weird player though. Like, who wanted him? Like the Sixers didn't want him, and that's GM Daryl Morey, who was an ex-GM of the Rockets, who Harden played for, doesn't even want James Harden because in that trade package with the Sixers got to give Ben Simmons, who's their future star, for James Harden, who's 31 years old and getting old at the moment, you know? And the Brooklyn Nets, they don't want to trade their young core, and the Brooklyn Nets look good. Like, the Nets look good. Spencer Dinwiddie, Jared Allen, Taurean Prince, Jeff Green, they're all good. They're all good back front court, you know? Sad to hear that Spencer Dinwiddie has to go out with the ACL injury and has to be out of the season, but the Nets still got it. Prayers up for him. But who wants James Harden, though?
I mean,
I've been looking some research on what teams want him. And the Nets only can take James Harden.
Yeah, but
the Rockets will only trade James Harden if the Nets give Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, and I don't think the Nets are gonna do that deal. They would
Personally, if I was the GM of the Nets, I would personally take James Harden over Kyrie Irving. Because let's face it, James Harden is a better player than Kyrie Irving. And KD and Harden did play in the Thunder 8 years ago and did go to the finals, but that was when Harden was still young, not at his prime yet. We didn't know what type of player he was, and his play style at the time was really different to what it is today. So I don't know, but if all three of them are on the team, that's scary. That's just scary. Like, whoever's got to face him in the playoffs, my prayers go for you.
You know, OKC drafted all three of the players we're talking about right now: James Harden, KD, and Westbrook. We haven't been talking about Westbrook, but
I'm not about Westbrook yet. But those are three MVPs,
and they only made one finals appearance in which they didn't.
If they didn't lose KD the dub in 2016, they would have made an easy finals appearance, you know?
Yeah, but KD made his move. Went to the 73-9 Warriors.
Made the biggest move. Made the
most shocking move, bro. No one saw it coming.
Embarrassing move in NBA history, and is joining the team that you lost and blew a 3-1 lead to.
Yes.
I mean, you gotta get the man. Like, I'm not trying to say there's fans that are like, oh, the Eastern Conference Championship the Miami Heat won this year is more valuable than KD's 2 rings. Like, come on. Like, it's an NBA championship. I know they were stacked in 2017, but come on now. He literally had to work he had to work hard to get that ring. I know he did, but it's not to the point where those 2 rings are not more valuable than Eastern Conference trophy, because they are more valuable. Like KD's rings, it's a ring. A ring is a ring. It doesn't matter how you get it. It's still a championship, and it'll always be more valuable than any other thing in the NBA. You know, like A ring is a ring. You work your whole ass off in the season to go there, catch that playoff spot, and win it all. You know. But this next team is going to be interesting. But we don't know what James Harden's doing. And I was so surprised with his performance against the Blazers this week.
James Harden.
Man's obviously went out to the club, partied, and
gained
a lot of weight. From partying.
Man's been going to the strip club every other week.
And gained a lot of weight, bro. A lot of weight.
I know.
And
I mean, to be fair,
didn't show up to practice.
Yeah. I mean, Harden's
comes into the game.
Harden's always been a little bulky, you know, but like he's a
shapeshifter.
He's a shapeshifter. I mean, he was looking pretty skinny in the summer, actually.
But the fact that he literally came out, put 47. How many did he have? 43 or 47? I don't know. I think it was 43. 43 points, 17 assists.
Wait, when was this?
This week.
This week, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta watch that game. Sorry, I didn't watch that one.
I was surprised. Like, despite this man going to the strip club, despite him gaining all that weight, whenever you're playing, he would put you the numbers that you want. Man, Harden is a different breed, bro. He's a different breed.
Harden, I'll tell you this.
Put 30 plus, he'll put 30 plus on your face.
I'll tell you this, man. Harden puts up some of the craziest numbers we've ever seen.
Doesn't matter on what circumstances he's playing with, you know? If he's gained a lot of weight, doesn't matter. He even said at the end of that game his conditioning needed to work on more. Man, conditioning, you still put up 40 plus. I don't think Harden needs conditioning. Not that I'm saying he doesn't, but like, you know, by the looks of it, it doesn't.
Bro.
That's my opinion, but
the reason why people talk about the Rockets so much
is they're like a questionable team. Like John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, they're not as good as they were 10 years ago. They're obviously old. DeMarcus Cousins coming off 2 bad injuries and is, sorry to say, and is not as good as he was, you know, a couple years ago. But,
you know, back when the Rockets had Chris Paul, they came really close to beating that Warriors team.
I know. They were up 3-2 in that series, and then 3v3 got injured in Game 6. And then in Game 7, I was watching it. I remember it was like yesterday.
Yeah.
I was watching Game 7, and I'm like, oh, Rockets are going to go to the finals. Halftime, they're up by like, what, 17? They fall off in the third quarter.
You know,
27 straight 3-pointers. Like, come on.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. 27. But do you think that Rockets team could have beat the Warriors if Chris Paul didn't get hurt?
Yeah, they would have.
They would have
took in that game. Like, the 2017 Warriors were more deadlier than the Warriors in 2018. Because 2017, all their players were healthy and then they were like on legit crack. But 2018, they were like a bit, you know how dynasties work. In the first good 2 years, they're really good. And in the last few years, they're like, you know, questionable, you know.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be losing games to that team and such, you know. But the Rockets were this close to going to the finals. This close to winning a championship. They would have beat LeBron regardless, you know. Like, let's be real. They would have beat LeBron. Like, LeBron had no one in 2018. And
LeBron only had Kevin Love, right?
Yeah, not even him. Probably had like George Hill. But that would have been like an easy ring. But of course, they've got to third quarter Clay, man, and third quarter Steph, third quarter Clay especially, and then they just lost that lead.
You know,
and that series was so hard to watch, especially after the second half, because all they were doing, as they had the lead, all they were doing is chucking up threes. Like, chalking up threes, even if you're up by big numbers. Like, drive in. You have a good rebounder, Clint Capella, who's a center, who's like 7 foot. Like, come on now. And that was disappointing to watch, you know.
You know, back when you remember the Derrick Rose versus LeBron rivalry?
Which year?
Around 2012-ish, you know?
When they went to the conference finals?
Yeah, Rose versus LeBron and Dwayne Wade. Remember that?
Yeah.
Bro, if you told me now that they would have been on the same team, like I personally like would not have believed that. Like 2018.
But that was when they were not in their primes, though.
Yeah.
But if they were all in their prime, oh god, that would have been deadly. But let's get back to the season. Second week, looking too good for all the teams. Dallas Mavericks. Porzingis is out till January. No big deal for Rick Carlisle, you know. That's why they were 7th seed last year. Porzingis went out with an injury, but then played in the playoffs. But that's what happens when you're injured, you know. When you lose your star, you drop down like that.
I wonder if they had Porzingis, they would have beat the Nuggets, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. Actually, I'm not sure. But
let's talk about the Clippers. Los Angeles Clippers, who had the most odds by every sports network to win the NBA championship last year, but then go up 3-1 against the Denver Nuggets and then just collapse.
Blow the lead.
Paul George, or how people like to call him, Pandemic P. You know, Paul George, that wasn't his best series. And I don't respect him. He's a good player, but last season wasn't as good. Last season, it wasn't his best. And I get that. No, for those who didn't know, he did come off a shoulder surgery in the off season of 2019, and so he didn't build any chemistry with that Clippers team. So he had to recover and heal up in the off season of 2019 with that shoulder surgery. And as soon as he was fully healed, like, the season started, so he had no time to play pickup with his teammates. So he had no time to form any chemistry, but they did get second seed. They did get second seed because they used their skill. But then as soon as quarantine hit, that became really worse for the Clippers, especially Paul George, because now they don't have chemistry. Because if the playoffs started in April, they would have beat the Clippers. Let's be real, they would have beat the Clippers if quarantine didn't happen. But of course, the lockdown did happen, and my guess is that Paul George didn't play any basketball during the lockdown. But I can't blame him. He did come off an injury, so we just gotta wait till this year, you know?
Yeah. I think that's the similar thing happened to the Bucks. You know, I feel like if the lockdown didn't happen, that Bucks team would have did like a lot better in the playoffs.
But we can't blame him of quarantine. It
happened to everyone.
I mean, Jimmy Butler was a smart man. Once the season went lockdown, he bought all of his teammates basketball hoops so that they could practice during quarantine while their opponents in the playoffs were just chilling at home.
See, no, that's a good teammate.
So I'm not saying the Heat got lucky. I'm saying the Heat are actual contenders because they worked their ass off even in the lockdown.
Yeah. I mean, hard work pays off. People always tell you that.
Yeah. And it was so sad to see them get exited out in the finals. I know they weren't the ones to win the finals, you know.
If they did win in the finals, though, that man Iggy would have 4 rings.
And would have been the most shocking thing in NBA history. Not NBA history, like shocking. One of the most shocking things in the bubble.
The Heat winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Lakers had 2 NBA first team players, LeBron and AD. Like, the 2 best forwards in the league.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what people were expecting. I mean, it was a decent series. It went to game 6.
I know, but I can't. Game 6 wasn't Jimmy's fault. Like, a previous game, game 5. The Heat were... Butler played 47 minutes in game 5.
And he was hitting clutch shots too.
47 minutes out of the 48 minutes. So he's only got 1 minute of rest that whole game in game 5. And he averaged a 35-point triple-double.
Yeah.
I can't blame him. And I remember after the press conference, it was so hard for him to watch in game 5 because he was limping as he was getting up. And I'm like, oh my god. But that is hard work. That is dedication. Like, with his two of his players going out, Goran Dragic and Bam Adebayo, that was sad to watch. But you know, that's what happens with injuries in the NBA.
You know, Jimmy Butler is just great. Like,
he's a straight dog, yo, straight dog.
Did you know that his mom disowned him? Like,
oh man, nah, that's the thing, yo. Like, to hear a story of where he come, like what his childhood was, and
yeah,
now where he is today, it shows that Jimmy Butler is a dog, bro.
Facts.
I have huge respect for him. I respect him a lot.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Butler is.
He's one of the NBA players that I respect the most.
Yeah, he is very respectable.
Respect.
But
I like how he doesn't get. I like how, and the respectable thing of this guy is that whenever like he gives the credit to his teammates, not to himself.
Yes.
That's what I like.
Yes.
He likes building up young stars. You know, he's a great leader, man. He's a great leader.
Yeah, you could tell like that
Heat team has chemistry. And
yeah.
Trust me.
Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, they had really good chemistry.
The whole team. But trust me, once that team goes to the playoffs again, that ain't some first round exit. That's a straight dog team, bro. That team is coming for you. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Man,
and I like the coach, Eric Spoelstra. He's a good guy, man. I like his coaching style and Pat Riley, GM of the Heat. I like how they keep themselves undercover and they like hide themselves in the season, and they just be like, you know, we just need to make the playoffs. I don't care about what seed we are. We just need to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, and then the fans will be like, okay, these guys are 6 seed. They're at first round exits. But then as soon as the playoffs come, bro, Butler is a straight dog. That whole team is a straight go-to team, you know? Like, they just surprise you out of nowhere, you know? When I saw them going up 3-0 against the Milwaukee Bucks, and I'm like, I never saw this coming.
Yeah. I mean, bro, I have to admit, I had the Bucks at least making the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, I had the Bucks winning in 6 games.
Yeah.
Going home in 5 games. But the Milwaukee Bucks are back and better. So let's hope they do something good this season. Unlike last season.
Damn, we've been going for a while.
I know, bro. What are we talking about now, bro?
Pardon?
What are we talking about
now? Shoot, we can talk about we can talk about damn, we talked about a lot. Jason Tatum.
NBA draft and the Boston Celtics and NBA draft.
Yeah.
All right, Boston Celtics. All right.
You know, Jason Tatum, he signed that Supermax or Max.
That big bank.
Yeah.
Bro, Tatum's good, bro. Like, if we're being real here, he is a good player, future MVP.
100%.
future NBA champion. Not to mention, you know,
Tatum's a underrated, like, for a player in the East. Like, people should talk about him a lot more.
that Celtics team is gonna be there for a long time because they're all young, except Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown, who's so underrated, he had like 46 points today. Like he's so underrated in my opinion. He's really underrated. Like 46 points. Like that team that team has a lot of chemistry and a lot of underdogs on that team, you know?
Yeah. Man, the Celtics get better every year.
Celtics get better. Brad Stevens is a good coach.
Yes.
But it's just so sad sometimes to see them not make it to the finals because they had like in the last 5 years they had like 3 times to go to the finals. 2017, I mean that was a game 5. They lost in 5 games, so I couldn't say anything about that. But they were the first seed. 2018, they had no LeBron. The Cavs only had LeBron and the Celtics had everyone, but Kyrie and Hayward were injured, and they took LeBron to 7 games, which is respectable in the Celtics side, you know. But LeBron's LeBron, you can't do anything about it if he destroys you.
You
and
know,
2020, you know.
Yeah.
Ball in 6 games to the Heat.
Bro, if you think about it, that Kyrie Celtics team was so stacked. Like,
but the reason why that didn't work out even in the regular season, that didn't work out because of chemistry issues. Just Kyrie just, you know, came the Celtics and just straight up lied in front of Boston fans.
yeah.
I remember he would resign, but then didn't. But, you know,
yeah, I would love to resign here next year.
Kyrie is known for making teams worse, you know.
Oh yeah, he has his plus minus isn't that good for a superstar.
But we don't know with his Nets team. He looks like he's in good hands with KD.
Yeah.
KD's a great leader. We just gotta see the future.
You know, KD and Kyrie have been friends for a while.
And the fact that KD, this past decade, KD is playing with one of the best point guards. He's played with Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, and Steph Curry, who are like top 5 point guards of this past decade.
Oh yeah.
Playing with great point guards. But anyway, man, Celtics, they're a future champion. And they're adding new kids. They're just getting better and better, man. I can't say anything about it. They're just getting better and better, you know?
Yeah. You know, were you surprised to see Gordon Hayward leave?
I wasn't surprised. Like, no one, honestly, when he signed with Boston, I wasn't that surprised because Gordon Hayward, once he got that injury in that season opener, I was like, oh my god. But then when he played in the 18-19 season and the 19-20 season, he wasn't the same. He wasn't Utah Gordon Hayward, you know?
Yeah.
That injury really effed him up, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't Utah Hayward. And Michael Jordan is on something for giving that guy freaking $100 million contract.
I mean, Jordan's got the money, man. Jordan's very rich.
Yeah, but come on, $100 million contract to him. Honestly, you know, that Hornets team is a young team, but Gordon Hayward, as long as he shows that he's worth $100 million, I respect that. But like right now, he does not look like a $100 million player.
True.
Big contracts are literally an issue in the NBA. Like Tobias Harris, Al Horford. When the Sixers had this guy, no one wanted him. No team wanted Al Horford. Like,
and yeah,
he's not worth.
Andrew Wiggins in Minnesota, that contract.
Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris.
The reason why the James Harden trade to the Sixers would literally have Harden, Simmons, and Embiid on the same team, but the Sixers are literally can give up Tobias Harris and get James Harden. But the reason why they can't get James Harden because no team wants Tobias Harris because Tobias Harris is literally straight up garbage.
Yeah, the problem is
that type of money.
Yeah, the problem is teams try to predict, who's gonna be a good player in the future, right? When they're young, so they give him a really good deal to lock him down, but then they become bad, or worse, or they don't get better.
Yeah.
And then they end up with a player that they can't trade because they gave them a super high salary, and no one wants a bad player or a player that isn't worth their salary, right?
Man, NBA, playoffs. That's in like May.
Yeah.
Alright, man. Lakers got way better from what last season. Like last season, they did win a championship, and it's so scary to me that they got way better. Adding,
it's a 72 game season as well. So I mean, Lakers could be winning a lot actually.
Lakers as front court and their bench, like they can win games without LeBron and AD.
Yeah, they signed two of the best sixth man, like Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell.
And they got Wesley Matthews. Like they're really good add-ups to the team. Kuzma just signed an extension. LeBron, I guess he likes Kuzma. After all, I thought he'd be in that trade package with the New Orleans trade.
Yeah.
In last off season. But I guess Kuzma is LeBron's guy,
Yeah. But sometimes, bro, if you look at Kuzma's Instagram, right, it feels like he's more focused on fashion and shit instead of basketball.
Yeah. As long as he makes LeBron happy, that's what he has to do.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, Kuzma got the drip though. I mean,
as long as if you're making LeBron mad, then just pack your bags and he's just gonna send you, bro. He's gonna ship you out of LA.
Yeah, he's what do they call him? Le GM. Le GM. Or I remember, right? Lonzo was versing the Heat, right? When he was on the Lakers. Yeah. And the Heat fans started chanting, LeBron gonna trade you. LeBron gonna trade you. It was so disrespectful.
The GM is the GM, man.
Yeah.
When he went to LA, when he signed with the Lakers, everyone thought that he wouldn't do it, but then he proved him wrong and they did it, and he did it.
I think he did it because Kobe left.
Anyway, man. Let's talk about this year's draft. This year's draft, 2020 draft. It was a pretty good draft. Sad that it couldn't be in the actual arena,
Yeah.
Let's just talk about the first pick in the first round. Anthony Edwards, he got drafted to the Minnesota Timberwolves. A lot of people saying he's like the next Donovan Mitchell, I could see that. He's putting up great numbers in his first game. He's ready, bro. Second pick, who we got second? Wiseman. He's a great guy. The Warriors gonna need him a lot. Well, let's talk about LaMelo Ball. Third pick in the draft. He was the biggest star in the draft, most recognized star in the draft. He's a bench, and he's a bench player. And today he had a great game. He had a really great game. I think he had like 16 points or something. I'm not sure. But, people be roasting about his shooting form, but...
Bro, he has the sauciest dimes, though. He has the best passes, on that team.
He had 22 points, 5 assists, and 8 rebounds. You know,
I feel like
shooting
LaMelo.
isn't the greatest. His shooting form isn't the greatest, but as long as he makes his stuff in, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
That's all that matters. As long as you make your stuff in.
I feel like LaMelo could be a triple double threat in a couple years. Cause think about it, he's big, right? And he can kind of shoot, right?
Yep.
And he's a 6'8" point guard, so of course you're gonna get them rebounds, right? And he can play make, like his brother Lonzo. So
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah, right, brother. Man, I was so pissed when the Pistons waived LiAngelo Ball, bro.
yeah, oh, they didn't even give him a chance. Not one game
Straight
even.
up, just signed him just so Detroit fans can get hyped. The NBA can get hyped. They just literally did it for the clout.
Yeah,
And just waived him.
like what do they even have to lose?
What? Why? Like, why did they waive him?
I
That
know.
would have been sick.
It's not like
They
they're
all
gonna be the
Ball
first
brothers
seed.
in
Like,
the NBA.
like let's face it, Detroit. Like, what are you doing? Like, you got nothing to lose. Like,
Whatever, man. Hope LiAngelo Ball gets picked up by some team.
yeah, bro. People would actually watch your games, man. Like, if they sign that man. But yeah, sometimes shit just happens, man.
Yeah, man. Shit just happens. But let's talk about the Pelicans. Brandon Ingram.
Pelicans got a bright future. I'm gonna say
Bright
that.
future. Brandon Ingram. He just won the Most Improved Player award. You know,
Yeah,
and he's putting great numbers this season. Like already into the season, he's putting good ass numbers. Like he had 24 against the Raptors. You know, they have a bright future. You know, bright future.
people call Bi what's it called, mini KD,
I
because
heard.
yeah, he's got that similar pull up jumper and form.
The frame, skinny frame.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, he's putting great numbers.
They got the dynamic duo, Lonzo and Zion.
Zion is just Zion. Lonzo Ball, he's doing really good.
Yeah,
He has a better shooting form now. He's making shots. Steven Adams, really good rebounder. Need him. But the one thing that I'm worried about for this Pelicans team is their spacing. Nowadays in the NBA, spacing is really important.
But who knows? They might be able to make up with it with their rebounding, because they got two of the strongest guys in Zion and Steven Adams.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they should be getting, I'd say, 90% of the defensive rebounds.
I know, but like offensive spacing though.
Oh, okay, yeah, that might be an issue, because although Zion could hit threes like in that first game, his shooting percentage went down as the season went on.
Zion's not a shooter. He's just like,
he's big
he's
body
like an
Zion.
athletic Shaq. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Jeff Van Gundy will make it work.
Oh yeah, and Lonzo, man, people have high expectations. Like they're like, Lonzo's got to average 10 assists, man. Like, cause he's got Zion on his team.
But they didn't give him a max contract, so they gave the 2017 draft class, Donovan Mitchell, Zion Williamson, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, De'Aaron Fox, who are like part of the 2017 draft class, all max contract extensions, and Kyle Kuzma too. But they didn't give a contract extension to the second pick of that draft, which was Lonzo Ball.
I think Lonzo will get his payday. He just has to be patient.
And he's a free agent next year, so
if he does well this season, I'm sure a team like Charlotte would try to pick him up. The Knicks would try to pick him up.
Nah, they're gonna try keeping him though, because their chemistry is already looking good.
And I think Lonzo likes playing with Zion.
And Zion doesn't want Alonso to leave. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But he's a restricted free agent though, so that's good for the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm. And the thing
So
is, like,
if a team offers him a contract, the Pelicans can try matching that so they can keep him.
you know how that Knicks team with Carmelo and Jeremy Lin,
Yeah, bro.
how Carmelo didn't want Jeremy Lin to steal the spotlight.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen in New Orleans because Zion and Lonzo, they work together.
Not to mention
they
Ingram
share
too,
the
bro.
spotlight with
All three
Ingram.
of them are gonna. That's like a trio, not even a duo. That's a trio, bro.
Straight up.
That team, I have high hopes for that team in the future.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about
bro, call this a hot take, but once all three of those guys are in their prime, they could be in the finals,
dude,
or maybe even win a championship.
Without a doubt. Alright, man, let's talk about the impressive, surprising Denver Nuggets, who came back 3-1 in back-to-back series in one playoff run. I was so surprised. I was really surprised how they came back 3-1 to. I was so surprised when they came back 3-1 to the Jazz, because the Jazz had chemistry issues, and I'm like, okay, they have chemistry issues. So obviously they lost that series. But the Clippers one, which everyone was shocked about.
Yeah.
Dude, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic went off.
Jokic proved that he's a top 3 big man in the league.
Best center in the league. Like, low-key best center in the league.
Low-key best center, right?
He proved it. That
I was thinking that too, but I wanted to say top 3, just so.
Top 3, but in my opinion, he's the best center. But, that Nuggets team has a future as well.
Below. You have work tomorrow.
That Nuggets team, has a great future.
Facts. And Jamal Murray, Jr., honestly, he surprised me. I thought he was, more of a shooter, right? But he started doing 360 layups and stuff, and I'm like, wow.
Michael Porter Jr. though, did you see this guy? Holy, Michael Porter Jr. is gonna become a breakout star this season.
I think I'll bowl.
Yeah. But Michael Porter Jr., he's gonna be a breakout star this season.
Oh yeah.
I think he had what? He had 30 yesterday. I'm not sure how much he had yesterday, but I think he had 30. Let me see. Yeah, he had 30 points yesterday and 10 rebounds. So I got him winning the most improved player.
MPJ. He was actually first in his draft class, but he slipped because he got injured.
Yeah.
And the Nuggets took advantage.
NBA, man. I just want to see some games, bro. Where there's no blowouts, It's past 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
I know there've been a lot of blowouts, probably because of the rust and stuff, because they haven't played in all of this year. So I can't say anything about that. But I can't. I just want to see one good game. One good game.
Yeah, bro. The game's always more fun when it's close.
Yeah.
That fourth quarter, everyone's at the edge of their seat. They're like, who's gonna win? Tie game. Then it goes to overtime.
Let's talk about this off season. Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns.
They traded Kelly Oubre.
They got Chris Paul, who's top 5 point guard right now in the league. Top 5 point guard, who's gonna help their team drastically, and they will make the playoffs, guarantee, for the first time after 10 years. So that was a good pickup. CP3, DeAndre, and Devin Booker. Devin Booker is going to be a breakout star this playoff. In this playoffs, he will prove to why he is a top 5 shooting guard in the league. this playoffs he will. And this team is really has great depth. Like CP3 and D Book had like not bad numbers yesterday, but they played really good. They played really good.
Facts.
CP3,
Bro, that Sun team is
like CP3 and Booker had like really bad games, like bad stats. Like they had like 8 and 9 or something. But then they're backcourt. Cameron Johnson, all those guys. And they blew out the Pelicans. So I got great expectations for this team. Especially literally Chris Paul leaving the team. When Chris Paul leaves the team or retires, this Suns team will be in good hands in the future because Chris Paul is a really good leader, and I think we all know that because what he did to the Thunder last year carried them to the 5th seed.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good leader. He is going to guide the Suns to the playoffs, and then the Suns will get some experience, and the Suns will know how to win. And once this guy is not in us with the Suns or he's retired, the Suns will be a future good team, you know? So having Chris Paul on that team is good for now. Good.
Bro, I feel like the Suns will definitely make a deep playoff run. Just because they have Chris Paul.
My opinion, top 5 seed. Top 5.
Mm-hmm.
In the West. Let's talk about the team that is trying to tank. The Oklahoma City Thunder.
They got the most picks.
I know their run is over. They're just honestly, Thunder are sending a message to the NBA that they just want to tank. They just want to lose.
Mm-hmm.
They're just trying to lose, and so they can be good in the long run, you know, with all those draft picks, you know. So right now, they ain't looking too good, but in the future, they'll be good. And I will be really surprised if this team, they have like how many draft picks, bro?
They have 15,
That's
I think.
A lot. If this team does not win an NBA championship in the next 10 years, 11 years, I'll be looking back at what they did these past 2 years, and I'll be like, bruh.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth it. But you know, I can't say that because I don't know what will happen in the next 10 years.
Yo, Aslan, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, bro.
Alright.
Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. That's our thoughts on the NBA season and what's been going on with the NBA. New episode. We'll see you guys next week. Peace. All right.